Okay, it's Friday, January 27th. This is a pre-opening SPY report. It's about a half hour to go before the open, and it seems like it could be a bit of a tricky day today. First of all, coming into yesterday, you have this kind of what looks like a momentum hammer bar, where you're still moving up. You tested lower, you closed near the highs. So the pre-market range you can see here is between the blue lines. If we look at it now on the 1 minute chart, we're kind of bouncing around. What I like about this is we're kind of near the bottom of the range, so that can give us a nice green bar to start. We can be targeting those pre-market highs. And then what you're expecting here, given this momentum bar, is strong momentum to the upside. And that's what I'm a little concerned about, because you would want to really be opening strongly above this pre-market highs to get that momentum. So while you anticipate the high being tested today, and that could be a good starting point near the midpoint of this day, it doesn't look like the momentum's in play, and there's really no actionable signal here when you look at the strat and its principles. I really prefer more in uptrends, the pullbacks, and then when you get the upward moves on the 2 up days or the inside day breakouts, at least you have targets. Here it's just you're trying to do a momentum play relative to this weekly chart, which is already strongly green, working towards its highs. And if we get another big day today, maybe this could extend even further by the end of the day. But given the way the market's kind of sitting here, at the midway point of yesterday, it's hard to say what we're going to get near the open and how much momentum is going to kick in. So I'd be a little concerned. Also, if we start red here below the halfway point of this bar and below the pre-market lows, that is a signal to try a short, and maybe we have a little exhaustion risk, and we could try to see if the market might just want to come down and get a 2 down day going, and maybe this whole weekly chart by the end of the day has a big failure. Again, not anticipating that, but you're going to almost have to try a short here on a red bar below that pre-market low and see if you can get a 2 down. Now, the thing is, if you don't get the 2 down in some kind of a pretty aggressive move, then be ready to reverse to the long side. But if we get some kind of downward move and reverse to the long side, again, we're nowhere really near taking out the high of yesterday, which is kind of the anticipation given that day. So question is this just a day that's going to be tricky to either up or down, and by the end, we end the week nicely green, and then we'll anticipate higher into next week, and there'll be better signals, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever, as we head higher, versus today where we're not really necessarily going to get the momentum up, but we're not really going to have a deep 2 down pullback to ruin this whole week, and that's why it's a little tricky here. So I guess the thing is, go with wherever opening price leads us relative to this pre-market range. If it's red, green here, get long and see if we can build momentum to the upside, but be careful of that. If it's red, I guess you can go short, but be careful that you're not really going to get a 2 down day. And anything that fails, you might want to get kind of like yesterday, treated as a, if you can see that, well, it's hard to zoom it out, but you can have kind of a downward move that eventually kind of works its way back up again. So we might get that down here, a little down, broadening lower, and then back up. If you zoom out the 15-minute chart, finally, you can see here in the big picture, we have this big uptrend going, and we're kind of at the top of a potential, channel. So it is possible just by the end of the week to pull back a little bit in here and hold, and then start up into next week. That's kind of what's worrying me. But anyway, I'll still go with the flow. I'll know what I have to look for. I really want to see momentum to the upside, given this daily bar from yesterday. That's what you'd expect from that bar. And if you don't see it, then that tells you, you might be just pausing in here and yet not really ready to drop all that much. So could be a tricky day, but let's just see how the structure unfolds on the 15-minute chart.